Time doesn't announce itself when it leaves. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't ask permission, and it never waits for you to feel ready. One moment you tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," and the next, months have vanished, quietly, invisibly, irreversibly. Days blur together, routines repeat, and before you realize it, life is no longer something you're building. It's something that's simply happening to you. This is the moment most people miss, not because they are lazy, but because they are comfortable. And comfort is the most dangerous place a human being can live. Think about this for a second. If your life were a bank account and time were the currency, you would be spending without ever checking the balance. Every scroll, every excuse, every delayed decision is a withdrawal you can never deposit back. The brain is wired to protect what it can see: money, objects, status. But time is invisible, so we treat it like it's endless. It's not. And deep down you know it. That quiet unease you feel late at night, that whisper telling you there's more you should be doing, that's not anxiety. That's awareness trying to wake you up. Look at the people who regret the most at the end of life. They don't regret failure. They regret hesitation. They regret the risks they didn't take, the words they didn't say, the dreams they kept postponing. Regret isn't born from action. It's born from delay. And delay feels harmless in the moment, but it compounds into a life half-lived. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to ignite you. Because the same truth that makes time terrifying also makes it powerful. The next hour is still yours. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads between who you are and who you could become. Time will move forward no matter what. But whether it builds your future or erases, it depends on what you choose to do next. Money can disappear and return. You can lose it, earn it back, rebuild it, multiply it. Time doesn't work that way. The hour you just lived is gone forever, sealed in the past, untouchable. And yet most people guard their money like a fortress while allowing their time, their life, to leak away without resistance. That contradiction is costing more than they realize. Think about how easily people trade hours for distractions that leave them empty. They'll spend years chasing a paycheck, but postpone the life they actually want to live. Money feels valuable because it's visible, countable, measurable. Time feels cheap because you can't hold it in your hands. But here's the truth that changes everything. Money is a tool, time is the source. Without time, money has no meaning, no use, no power. Time is the soil where every achievement grows. Look closely at success stories and you'll see a pattern. The difference isn't luck or talent. It's how people respect their hours. They say no more often. They walk away from noise. They invest time where it compounds, learning, building, improving, becoming. Meanwhile, others stay busy but never move forward, mistaking motion for progress. Psychologically, humans fear losing what they already have more than losing what feels abstract. That's why wasting time rarely triggers panic, until it's too late. But imagine treating your time like a non-renewable asset, because that's exactly what it is. Imagine asking yourself before every commitment, every distraction, every delay, is this worth a piece of my life? This isn't about becoming obsessed with productivity. It's about becoming conscious. When you value time, your standards rise, your focus sharpens, your choices become intentional. You stop buying things you don't need to impress people you don't care about, and you start investing hours into the person you're becoming. Master your money, yes, but first, master your time. Because when your time is intentional, success stops being a wish and starts becoming inevitable. Later sounds harmless. It sounds responsible, patient, reasonable. But later is one of the most dangerous words you will ever speak to yourself. Later is where dreams go to sleep. Later is where ambition slowly suffocates under comfort. Later convinces you that time is on your side, when in reality time is silently moving on without you. The human mind is wired for immediate comfort. It will choose ease today over greatness tomorrow every chance it gets. That's why you wait, that's why you delay, that's why you tell yourself you'll start when conditions are perfect, when you feel ready, when life slows down. But life never slows down. The truth is brutal and freeing at the same time. You will never feel ready. Readiness is a myth invented by fear to keep you safe and small. Every great transformation begins before confidence shows up. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. But procrastination whispers lies that feel logical. Just one more day. Just one more break. Just one more excuse. And each time you listen, you train your brain to associate delay with relief. That relief is temporary. The cost is permanent. Understand this deeply. Someday is not a date on the calendar. It's a story you tell yourself to avoid discomfort. And discomfort is the price of growth. The people who build extraordinary lives aren't braver than you. They're just willing to feel uncomfortable sooner. They move while others wait. They act while others plan. They begin while others hesitate. If you don't decide when to act, life will decide for you. And life is ruthless, with wasted potential. Momentum doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. The first step doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be taken. So stop asking yourself when. Ask yourself why not now. Right now is the only moment you can control. Right now is where power lives. Right now is where the future is. Decided. Choose action, choose movement. Choose to begin, because later is stealing a life that was meant to be lived today. You can say anything you want about your priorities, but time never lies. Time is the most honest mirror you will ever face. It doesn't care about intentions, promises, or excuses. It only records actions. Where your hours go is who you are becoming, not who you hope to be, not who you claim to be, who you are right now. People often feel frustrated, unfulfilled, or disconnected from their purpose, and they don't know why. The reason is simple but uncomfortable. Their time is invested in things that don't match their values. The mind feels the conflict before the words can explain it. That heavy feeling, that quiet guilt, that sense of falling behind. It's not confusion, it's misalignment. Your inner self knows when your life is being traded away in small, careless moments. Every minute is a vote. A vote for discipline or distraction. A vote for growth or stagnation. A vote for the future you say you want, or the comfort that's keeping you stuck. You don't need more motivation, you need more honesty. Because once you see where your time actually goes, excuses lose their power. Look closely at how easily hours disappear into habits that demand nothing and give nothing back. Endless scrolling, empty conversations, busy work that feels productive but changes nothing. These moments don't just waste time, they quietly lower your standards. And when standards drop, potential follows. But here's the empowering truth. The moment you take control of your time, you take control of your identity. When you protect your hours, your confidence grows. When you invest them intentionally, momentum builds. You don't need a complete life overhaul. You need conscious choices made consistently. Audit your time like your future depends on it, because it does. Ask yours. Elf, what each hour is building. Ask yourself if today's schedule is aligned with tomorrow's goals. When your time reflects your values, clarity replaces confusion, energy replaces guilt, and purpose replaces pressure. Time will always show you the truth. The question is whether you're brave enough to listen and strong enough to change what you see. Wasted time doesn't just disappear. It takes something with it every single time. It takes confidence. It takes momentum. It takes belief in yourself. This is the cost nobody warns you about. You don't feel it immediately, which is why it's so dangerous. It erodes you slowly, quietly, day by day, until one morning you wake up feeling behind, frustrated, and unsure how you got there. Every time you choose distraction over discipline, your mind learns a pattern. It learns that comfort wins. It learns that effort can be postponed. And over time, that lesson becomes an identity. You stop trusting yourself. You stop believing your own promises, not because you're incapable, but because you've trained your brain to expect delay instead of action. That's how wasted time turns into wasted potential. The most painful loss isn't opportunity, it's self-respect. When you know you could have done more, learned more, grown more, and you didn't, something inside you hardens. Regret doesn't scream. It whispers. It shows up as frustration, comparison, and that constant feeling of being behind in life. And the longer it goes on, the heavier it becomes. Understand this clearly. Failure doesn't destroy people. Inaction does. Failure teaches. Inaction weakens. When you avoid action, you don't stay the same. You move backward. Skills dull. Confidence shrinks. Discipline decays. Time wasted today doesn't just cost today, it steals from tomorrow. But here's the shift that changes everything. The moment you decide that your time is sacred, your life begins to rise. Action rebuilds confidence faster than motivation ever could. One focused hour can restore belief that months of procrastination destroyed. One disciplined choice can reverse years of doubt. Stop thinking of wasted time as harmless. It's not neutral, it's expensive. Every hour is either building strength or feeding regret. Choose wisely. Your future self is watching, waiting to see whether you'll keep stealing from them, or finally start investing in the life they deserve. Time doesn't just shape your schedule, it reveals your character. How you use your hours is a direct reflection of your discipline, your self-control, and your standards. Discipline isn't something you suddenly find one day. It's something you prove to yourself in the quiet moments when no one is watching. When you choose focus over distraction, effort over excuses, you're not just managing time, you're building personal power. Every strong individual shares one trait. They honor commitments, especially the ones they make to themselves. Weak discipline isn't a personality flaw. It's a habit formed by repeated compromise. Each time you ignore what needs to be done, you teach yourself that your word doesn't matter. But each time you follow through, even when it's hard, something powerful happens. Confidence grows. Identity strengthens. You begin to trust yourself again. People often see discipline as restriction, but that's a lie. Discipline is freedom. It frees you from chaos, from last-minute stress, from the regret of unfinished goals. It gives structure to ambition and direction to effort. Without discipline, talent is wasted. With discipline, even ordinary people build extraordinary lives. Time exposes this truth relentlessly. Those who rise early, who train their minds, who protect their focus, they aren't lucky, they are deliberate. They've decided that their future is worth more than temporary comfort. And because of that decision, their days compound instead of collapsing. Here's the strategy that changes everything. Make your time non-negotiable. Decide in advance what deserves your energy, and eliminate everything that doesn't. Create daily rituals that anchor your discipline, small actions done consistently. You don't need massive motivation. You need standards you refuse to break. Your life will never rise above the level of discipline you practice daily. But the moment you take ownership of your time, you step into a new version of yourself. One that doesn't wait, doesn't drift, doesn't settle. Time will always tell the truth about who you are becoming. Make sure it tells a story of strength, focus, and relentless forward movement. Being busy is easy, being focused is rare, and that difference is where success is decided. You can fill your days with movement, noise, meetings, messages, and still go nowhere. Motion feels productive, but focus is what creates results. The world rewards output, not exhaustion, yet most people wear busyness like a badge of honor while wondering why nothing meaningful changes. Your brain was never designed to do 10 things at once. Multitasking doesn't make you efficient, it fractures your attention and drains your energy. Every distraction pulls you out of momentum, and it takes time to climb back in. That constant switching leaves you tired, unfocused, and unsatisfied, even when you've been working all day. Deep down, you know the difference between a full day and a fulfilled day. Focused time is where growth happens. It's where skills sharpen, ideas form, and confidence is built. One uninterrupted hour of real concentration can outperform an entire day of scattered effort. That's how extraordinary people separate themselves. Not by working more, but by working with intention. They protect their attention. Unlike a weapon, they don't let notifications, opinions, or noise decide how their time is spent. Success isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things deeply. When you focus, you enter a state where progress accelerates and doubt quiets. You stop reacting and start creating. You move from survival mode into mastery. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop scheduling tasks and start scheduling focus. Decide when you will work deeply and remove every possible distraction. No phone, no interruptions, no excuses. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. That's how you know it's working. Discomfort is the doorway to excellence. Busy time keeps you occupied. Focused time transforms you. One builds stress, the other builds skill. One drains your future, the other compounds it. If you want uncommon results, you must adopt uncommon focus. Guard it fiercely, use it deliberately, because when your time is focused, your efforts multiply, and success stops being accidental and starts becoming inevitable. Most people wait for a perfect moment to change their lives, not realizing that life is built in ordinary moments. Transformation doesn't happen in dramatic breakthroughs. It happens in quiet, consistent choices made on normal days. The days that feel repetitive, unremarkable, and easy to dismiss are the exact days that shape your future. What you do today matters more than what you do once in a while. Big goals can feel overwhelming, which is why so many people never start. But progress doesn't require intensity, it requires consistency. Small actions repeated daily have a power that most people underestimate. One focused hour, one page read, one workout, one difficult conversation. These aren't small when done repeatedly, they are the building blocks of a powerful life. Your brain responds to momentum. Every completed action strengthens your belief in yourself. Every promise kept rewires your identity. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. And habits are nothing more than time invested wisely, day after day. The magic isn't in doing more, it's in doing enough, consistently. Stop measuring progress by how motivated you feel. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline shows up even when energy doesn't. On the days you don't feel like it, showing up anyway builds resilience. Those are the days that separate people who wish from people who win. Perfection is not required. Presence is. Adopt the mindset of daily improvement. Ask yourself one simple question every morning. What is one thing I can do today to move forward? Not 10 things. 1. Do it fully, do it intentionally. Then repeat tomorrow. That's how ordinary days turn into extraordinary results. You don't need a new life, you need new daily standards. When you respect small moments, time starts working for you instead of against you. Momentum builds quietly, confidence rises steadily, and one day you look back and realize the life you wanted wasn't built in a single decision, but in hundreds of ordinary days you finally chose to take seriously. Most people wait for a perfect moment to change their lives, not realizing that life is built in ordinary moments. Transformation doesn't happen in dramatic breakthroughs. It happens in quiet, consistent choices made on normal days. The days that feel repetitive, unremarkable, and easy to dismiss are the exact days that shape your future. What you do today matters more than what you do once in a while. Big goals can feel overwhelming, which is why so many people never start. But progress doesn't require intensity, it requires consistency. Small actions repeated daily have a power that most people underestimate. One focused hour, one page read, one workout, one difficult conversatio. These aren't small when done repeatedly, they are the building blocks of a powerful life. Your brain responds to momentum. Every completed action strengthens your belief in yourself. Every promise kept rewires your identity. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. And habits are nothing more than time invested wisely, day after day. The magic isn't in doing more, it's in doing enough, consistently. Stop measuring progress by how motivated you feel. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline shows up even when energy doesn't. On the days you don't feel like it, showing up anyway builds resilience. Those are the days that separate people who wish from people who win. Perfection is not required, presence is. Adopt the mindset of daily improvement. Ask yourself one simple question every morning. What is one thing I can do today to move forward? Not 10 things. 1. Do it fully. Do it intentionally. Then repeat tomorrow. That's how ordinary days turn into extraordinary results. You don't need a new life, you need new daily standards. When you respect small moments, time starts working for you instead of against you. Momentum builds quietly, confidence rises steadily, and one day you look back and realize the life you wanted wasn't built in a single decision, but in hundreds of ordinary days you finally chose to take seriously. Awareness of time is not meant to scare you, it's meant to sharpen you. There's a difference between urgency and anxiety, and most people confuse the two. Anxiety paralyzes, awareness empowers. Anxiety whispers that you're running out. Awareness reminds you that right now still belongs to you. When you learn to respect time without fearing it, your energy shifts from panic to purpose. Many people live either numb to time or terrified by it. One leads to drifting, the other leads to burnout. The real power lies in presence, knowing that time is limited, yet choosing to act calmly and intentionally within it. You don't need to rush through life to live it fully. You need to show up fully in the moments that matter. Time awareness creates clarity. It helps you cut through noise and recognize what's essential. You stop obsessing over everything you could do and focus on what you must do. Instead of chasing productivity, you build meaning. Instead of reacting to life, you design it. This is where fulfillment begins, not in doing more, but in doing what aligns. Psychologically, the mind performs best when it feels purposeful, not pressured. When you plan your time with intention and live your days with presence, stress loses its grip. You act decisively without desperation. You move forward without panic. You trust the process because you're actively participating in it. Here's the strategy. Plan your future, but live your day. Set clear goals, then bring your full attention to the task in front of you. When you're working, work deeply. When you're resting, rest without guilt. This balance builds longevity, clarity, and strength. Time is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. It shows you what matters and strips away what doesn't. When you live with awareness instead of fear, every moment gains weight and meaning. You stop racing the clock and start leading your life with calm confidence, intention, and quiet power. This is the moment where everything comes together, the moment where realization meets action. Time will not wait for you, and it will not ask for permission. Every second you hesitate, every moment you procrastinate, is a choice to let life pass by. The people who achieve greatness, who build legacies, who live fully, they do not wait for permission. They claim their hours, they protect their energy, and they move with fierce intention. The question is simple, why? Will you do the same? Your future is being written right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Every decision you make, every action you take, every hour you invest is a sentence in that story. And when you understand that, excuses fall away. Fear loses its grip. Comfort no longer tempts you into stagnation. You realize that life is not something that happens to you. It's something you create with every deliberate choice. Take this as your call to action. Stop wasting another moment on things that do not serve your vision. Start small if you must, but start now. Send that email. Make that call. Begin that project. Take the first step toward the person you know you can become. Action compounds. Momentum builds. Confidence grows. One small step today becomes 10 tomorrow, and before you know it, your life has shifted in ways you once thought impossible. Time will continue to move, relentless and impartial. The difference between those who succeed and those who fade into regret is how they respond to it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for motivation. Decide today that your time is valuable, that your potential is worth fighting for, and that your life will be lived intentionally, fully, and without compromise. Stand up. Step forward. Take control. Claim your time, because in claiming your time, you are claiming your life. And the future you've been waiting for starts with the choices you make this very second.